Welcome to this training on TUSD's implementation of the federal McKinney-Vento homeless legislation. Every TUSD employee is required to review this material every single year of employment. We will give you a brief overview of the law and specific areas to be mindful of when considering McKinney-Vento eligible students. The intent of this law is to break the cycle of poverty by providing stability, continuity, access, and support for homeless students in order to keep them in school. Although 75% of all American children graduate from high school, less than 25% of homeless children graduate. On average, homeless children score 16% lower on math and reading proficiency standards. The law has four major requirements: that homeless students be immediately enrolled in school, that they be transported to and from their school of origin, that they not be segregated or stigmatized, and that the school districts appoint a liaison to oversee their advocacy and access to services. During the registration process, the child's guardian is asked to fill out an eligibility questionnaire, which asks about housing. Answers on this questionnaire can help us identify students who may qualify for the services. Eligibility for services is determined on a case-by-case basis by the TUSD Homeless Education and Resource Team, otherwise known as HEART. If the student is deemed eligible, McKinney-Vento staff will make a note in their Synergy profile. Because a family situation can change, the eligibility for services questionnaire must be filled out each school year for each student. If the answers on the form indicate that a student might qualify for the services, the office staff members fax the form to the Family and Community Outreach for verification. The law states that individuals who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence can qualify. A student is eligible if his or her housing is temporary based on economic or other hardship, if the housing is substandard or inadequate, or if the student is an unaccompanied youth. Roughly 2/3 of our McKinney-Vento students are sharing the housing of others. Often their parents have lost their jobs and then lost their homes and have moved in with friends or family. The affidavit of residency does not apply to these families and should not be requested in this scenario. Some McKinney-Vento students are living in a temporary shelter, while a few live in substandard or inadequate housing such as campers or houses without utilities. Still others might be living in a building not intended as a dwelling, a car or a park, or living in substandard migrant housing. Unaccompanied youths are students not in the physical custody of a parent or guardian, and they can be any child 5 to 22 years of age. These students may fill out their own eligibility questionnaire when they enroll themselves in school, or another adult or homeless liaison can do the registration for them. Not all students living with relatives qualify as an unaccompanied youth. Call for assistance to determine specific eligibility. It's estimated that each year in the United States, between 2 and 3 million children are homeless. Many no longer live at home due to abuse from parents, or their parents are addicts, incarcerated, or deceased. In some cases, the parents cannot care for all the children in the family. Regardless of the reasons, runaway children do qualify for McKinney-Vento. A lack of normally required records cannot be a barrier to enrollment for a McKinney-Vento student, and our schools must maintain records for the homeless students so that they are available in the event of another school transfer. The homeless liaison can help with obtaining the necessary school records after enrollment. Once McKinney-Vento eligibility is determined, students have the right to remain in their school of origin for their entire school year. Their McKinney-Vento eligibility covers that year, but it does not carry over and must be determined again at the start of the next school year. Transportation must be provided both to and from school, but it also must be feasible and in the best interest of the child. If a McKinney-Vento student moves during the school year, the student does not have to withdraw from school. McKinney-Vento students have the same access to TUSD programs as all students, as long as they meet standard eligibility guidelines for those services. All McKinney-Vento students are immediately eligible for free breakfast and lunch at school. Once qualified for services, families do not have to do any additional paperwork for their children to qualify for free breakfast and lunch. The Arizona Department of Education requires that all school districts keep strict records of their homeless students, and this data is regularly entered into the district database. It is essential that the school site keeps all the addresses up to date so that transportation can route the students within 48 hours of enrollment or moving. Any delay could cause the students to miss school. Schools are required to inform students and parents of their educational rights and to train teachers and other staff about the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act. If schools are found to be out of compliance with the McKinney-Vento law, all federal funds supplied to McKinney-Vento eligible students could be in jeopardy. The McKinney-Vento Act is unfunded, but each year the Arizona Department of Education distributes $1.5 million of grant money to help supplement the services provided by Title I funding. This money is awarded through competitive grant applications that TUSD has been successful in achieving for our McKinney-Vento students. The grant money is used to cover students' extra school expenses, such as class fees, uniforms, school supplies, backpacks, hygiene items, shoes, and clothes. The grant money also funds the salaries of the people who provide support, such as a case manager or homeless liaison. You can help identify students who might need the services provided by the McKinney-Vento Act by keeping your eyes and ears open. If a child is frequently tardy or absent from school, appears chronically fatigued and hungry, wears the same clothes for days at a time, or appears to have unmet medical or dental needs, that student may be a candidate. Other signs might be a reluctance to participate in extracurricular activities or field trips, or any mention of difficult living situations by the student. If you suspect a student might be homeless, please contact Family and Community Outreach directly by phone, fax, or email. Anyone can refer a student, and our office will follow up with that student. The success of these students depends on you. Congratulations! You are now finished with this training on federal McKinney-Vento homeless legislation.